Of course, we're dishing about everything that's trending in the news and the world of social media. So ladies, let's get into it. And we got to start off the show with what we're drinking, because that's what determines what kind of show we about to have. Ladies, what you drinking on?
I'm with my usual Pinot Noir in a Baccarat goblet.
Come on, Baccarat.
Okay,
I've got water.
The only rock I have is on my finger. That's the.
hey, ladies. There's an issue with the sound, so I don't know if we should take a break. Can we fix this before we go? Okay, we're back. Apologies in the chat. I see we have no sound, but I think we're fixed now. Okay.
So let's just do a rewind on that.
Rewind. Can y'all hear us now? Are we good back? Are we good?
Yes.
We have sound.
Okay.
No sound.
Oh
okay.
No.
We just got finished saying that we come a long way.
So I was just saying before they told us that we have no sound, that we have come a long way with our Wi-Fi, and then the sound goes out.
Right. Look at Satan.
If they let us be great. Okay, ladies, what y'all sipping on tonight? Let's just get into that.
Well, I have my usual Pinot Noir in a Baccarat glass.
Very nice. That's a pretty glass. I like that.
Thank you very much. I've got it in different colors: green, blue, yellow, and red.
Come on, colors.
Okay.
Lisa,
this is just water. I'm waiting on cocktails, but as of now, it's water.
Okay.
At least you sparkling, girl. Go ahead. Well, I have my regular cup of tea that I'm gonna keep the tea in.
Okay.
Fill out doing this show, but it always does.
And I got some $7 Moscato in a $10 glass.
That's what you gotta love, the queens. It just goes from class A to rache.
Okay.
Keep it a buck. We're very relatable. All right, ladies, let's get into it. We're kicking things off with some Black girl magic. An all-Black female crew operated an American Airlines flight from Dallas to Phoenix in honor of the first Black woman to earn a pilot's license in 1921. American Airlines hosted the Bessie Coleman Aviation All-Stars Tour to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Coleman performing the first public flight by an African-American woman in 1922. What are your thoughts on this historic moment? Selena, let's start with you.
It's just an ode to Black women just being fabulous, and I love how we are a panel of all Black women, and we're here celebrating the history of an all Black woman crew and a Black woman pilot. So, this is history that we're celebrating, this type of history. So I think it's awesome, of course, and it just speaks to our strength and our knowledge and our know-how. So
I love it.
We spoke about something about this. I think we had some type of commercial or something that we were doing for Black pilots.
Black History Month. Yeah, the Nissan vignette we were doing.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're still right there, celebrating us. I think FUBU had the correct initials for us, by us, and I think that still starts and stands now. So
that's right. Vivica?
Ain't no stopping us. That's all I got to say. I mean, from the skies to the military to the hospital to finding the cure for COVID, Black women are amazing.
A testament to these women too, because back in the 20s, we were beneath being considered a second-class citizen. We were like, we couldn't vote, couldn't do anything. And to know that despite all that, this Black woman went to these lengths and heights and went that far and said, you know what, whatever, I'm still going to do me. Because I would think during that time, I'm not able to do anything. Woe is me. And she said, F that. I'm going to get in this plane. I'm going to fly. I'm going to be the first one. Doesn't matter that no one did it before me. She did it. So I think that's super dope. So I love it. All right, ladies, it's been 5 months since the infamous Oscar slap. And now Will Smith's ex-wife, Cherie Zampino, is asking fans to forgive him. Now, Cherie told the Daily Mail, I hope people can allow him to be human. She continued, I really hope for that because I stand in support of him. We are on good terms. She also said, you cannot heal without forgiveness. Do you agree with Cherie's comments? Let's start with you, Vivica.
First of all, I was happy to hear her, be in support of Will. They've always had, besides the divorce, they have always had a really wonderful co-parenting relationship. And, time heals all wounds. And I definitely feel that it's time for us all to move on. But kudos to her for saying, you know, he deserves forgiveness. It's the first mistake that he made. He deserves a second chance. You know, he went on and did his speech about, you know, I apologize. I feel like SHIT every day behind the incident. So I love a person that takes accountability and has no problem asking for forgiveness.
Facts. Okay, very nice. Lisa Ray, what do you think?
Absolutely. We can't hinder on, you know, stuff that happened, you know, back then. You know, it was his lesson, his mistake, and he has to be able to deal with it, you know, and absolutely, he's going to have his family support him as they should. You know, if nobody can support you, your family got to support you. You got to have somebody there that when you do fall and you get weak for whatever moment, for however long, you need somebody to go to slap you and say, hey, get it together, because that was just a moment in time. You know what I mean? Let it go and let's move forward. So I don't want to keep him back and make him his whole career about just that one time. You know, we don't want to do that. So absolutely. I'm glad. That's my girl. I love her.
I love her too. She's super cool too and fun. Selena, what do you think?
Well, I agree. I agree with Vivica. I agree with Lisa Ray. I agree with Sheree. I mean, her name is Sheree or Sheree Zampino? Is it Sheree or Sheree?
I think she's Sheree and Housewives is Sheree.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sheree, yeah.
And I agree with her. And I agree with you guys. However, you know, I feel like, you know, we ain't get slapped by Will Smith. I just feel like he doesn't owe us an apology at all. I don't feel like he needs to ask us for approval or to move on. I don't think he needs to care if social media gives him that, forgives him or not. And forgiveness takes time in general, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like when he apologized to Chris Rock, he apologized to the Oscars, he apologized to his fans. He's been apologizing already. So at this point, I don't think anyone needs to even speak on his behalf. And I'm not saying that she shouldn't, but I don't think no one even needs to care whether or not people are good with him again. You know, he can go ahead and move on. What's done is done. No one died on the table. It's spilled milk. And, you know, you live and you learn, but he doesn't owe anybody anything else, in my opinion. I feel like he should be able to move on, whether they are forgive or forget or not.
Sharon, in the comments.
I'm sorry, I was going to say that I think there's a thin line, though. When you're a public figure and a big public figure like him, I think that fan base dictates what you need to do. Because if they're no longer feeling you and they're saying, hey, we about to, you know, not watch your movies or not support you, whatever, then
cancel culture. Cancel culture.
Oh, is that what okay.
Culture.
The cancel culture, it's like you do want to say, hey, I made a mistake.
But they already
in such a public way. You know what I mean? So I think
but they already know, and like whether they say they will or will not, what will you do? You still gonna have to move on. You know, you can't.
But you also have to realize that Will Smith, basically his entire career, has been very politically correct. So, you know, for him to get back in that fan base and make sure that fan base knows that he's accountable for his actions, I agree with Lisa Ray on that it's good for him to say, okay, I'm sorry, but we are going to move on.
I think you do have a higher bar of responsibility when you are a public figure and your money is earned through people supporting you and liking the image you put out there. So it'd be cool if we didn't have to, but shoot, we've had to apologize for way less right here on this show. And we screaming, okay.
But I'm confused. He did apologize. I'm saying that further on, we don't need to keep saying like, oh, everybody needs to forgive him now. Like, regardless of whether they forgive him or not, he still is going to have to move on. Like
exactly. But Sheree hasn't said anything. She's been very quiet about the matter.
Interesting comment from the chat. Sharon Fox said, "Did Will's current wife speak on?" Damn. That's what I've been trying to say for the last couple of minutes. They were like, "What about
around with it?"
Okay, I'm gonna leave her alone.
She hasn't spoken on it, huh?
Well, she did on behalf of herself. So,
well, I mean,
but on his behalf as his wife,
she did on her behalf.
Okay.
as far as,
You cleared her name.
yeah.
Now,
got
now if we keep talking about it, they're gonna call us haters. So let's move on.
Okay.
Let me take another sip real quick. Such good wine.
That Moscato's tasty.
Okay. Come on, $7 bottle. I know that's right.
Hey, y'all, a farmer in Ghana claims he accidentally chopped off his testicles while he was dreaming.
While he was dreaming.
The farmer claims he woke up in shock to see his private area cut off after dreaming he was slaughtering a goat. What are your thoughts on this crazy story? Lisa Ray, I got to go to you first. What you think?
Okay. That's right up her alley.
Because the look on her face right now.
I mean, that was not dreaming. That was a nightmare.
Absolutely.
I can't, you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine. I mean, that was sleepwalking, sleep talking, sleep slanging.
Sleep.
Okay. Sleep slicing. But how did you get the knife? Like, did you go to sleep like this? Just waiting to cut your thing off? Like, what happened? I don't understand the knife part, but
I think the farmer may have had a little ran through some little psychedelic mushrooms. There's a mushroom.
come on. Tell the truth.
Jinx, that, you know, he might have had a little psychedelic mushroom, because what part of the goat were you slaughtering?
And you know, okay, so I'm not a big steak eater, because when you do, like, sometimes when there's a little piece of fat, you gotta cut so much, and it's a lot of work. So imagine.
So that
like,
fat is the best part. It helps.
I know, put it with a little A1 sauce on it.
Okay, but you ain't got no A1 sauce and you sleep in your bed cutting your own nuts off.
He was
So how
dreaming
you-
about that part too.
You just cutting in your nuts and your.
You didn't wake up on the first slice, right? Well, like, what happened? You didn't get the paper cut feel and wake up. Like, none of that. None of that stopped you.
I mean,
Yeah,
you know, even sometimes, like, you get a paper cut, isn't it like the worst? So
It's
just cut
worse.
off your private is just a lot.
I'm with Vivica. What you growing in that farm?
Okay.
You growing some mushrooms or some, child, because you wasn't just chilling. You was
How you
on
know?
something
How you know? I mean, I get the pee dream because that don't happen to me a couple times. You know, you just dream and you're like, oh my God, this feels so good. Damn it. Okay. But to go and cut your damn testes.
No.
It's a no. Yeah.
Okay, y'all. Before we go to break, y'all ever do anything crazy in your sleep? Sleepwalking, talking in sleep, telling yourselves, pee to bed? Anybody?
When I lived in, go ahead, Lisa Ray.
I was gonna say I'd be sleep grinding.
Mm.
Are you diamond in your sleep? You like,
Not twerking and working. I'm talking grinding. That's like
Somebody in there in that dream with you. When you wake
Somebody
up,
is down to that dream.
right? Okay, then when you wake up, you like, ooh.
how about you, Vivica? Anything in your sleep?
You know, I developed a bad habit for a while when I was doing a television show in Toronto, and I would wake up and because I had a little mini refrigerator right there. I had lived in a little suite, and sleep eating. I would wake up and there would be like either chips or like healthy ones I would, and I was like, when did that happen? And yeah,
Selena?
I do not know. Probably the pee dream is probably the closest, the worst I've done. I think so.
Man, I guess so. In real life now, I always pinch myself every time I go to the bathroom to make sure I'm really awake, because I don't want that to ever happen to me again, because that's really embarrassing.
It's happened. I'm certain.
Yeah, it happens, especially when you get older. All right, y'all.
You don't be dreaming though. You don't be dreaming though.
Like, damn. All right,
wait.
well, it looks like Claudia froze on us, you guys.
Oh, wow.
Right now, we'll go to commercial, and we will be right back with more Cocktails with Queens. It's been reported that NeNe Leakes dismissed her discrimination lawsuits against Bravo and Andy Cohen. According to court documents obtained by Entertainment Tonight, Leakes dismissed the action without prejudice, meaning that she has the option to reopen it a little bit later in the future if she chooses to do so. Following the dismissal, Leakes is not seeking recovery or costs or attorney fees. Wow, I really find that surprising, because it's just been going on for a while. Selena, what do you think about it?
Well, first of all, child, I have forgot that, that the people even had a lawsuit. I forgot all about the lawsuit. It's just so much foolishness going on in the world right now. I forgot about the lawsuit, but it's interesting, like you said, that she dropped it without any
Prejudice.
just no prejudice, just peace out. So maybe it got expensive for her. Maybe her court fees and her lawyer fees got very expensive. And, you know, little old NeNe fighting this big conglomerate company.
Bravo.
It takes manpower, you know what I'm saying? And money. So,
or maybe it's just that they had a sidebar and came to the conclusion that it wasn't supposed to be taken that way. And if you thought it was, then it wasn't. And they kind of rectified it and just said, you know what, let's just go on our separate ways. It could be that.
I want to ask y'all a little sidebar question. Do you think perhaps they, as you said, settled their differences and probably she said, well, give me a show and perhaps I can carry on. Your thoughts, Lisa Ray?
We will see. I mean, that's a great angle.
Yeah.
That's a great way to force your way in and say, you know, but we do know that NeNe is good TV. They know that she's good TV. And so it could have been that could almost be like not a threat, but a bribe, right?
Yeah. Maybe she's coming back to Housewives.
Oh, let me tell you something, because, you know, for the longest time, NeNe, from what I hear, like that show was grossing her some big dollars.
Yeah.
And then she got to spin off so many wonderful things. She got to go and do Glee. You know, she did the show with her husband. She did a wedding. So, you know, I always say this, always when you leave a job, I've always learned this, being an actor, doing movies, doing television shows, doing plays, is never burn bridges, because you never know when you might have to go back across that bridge one day, you know?
Yeah.
And I know it can be hard sometimes because you feel like, oh, well, they're not treating me fair and stuff like that. But to everyone that's out there, that especially if you're trying to get in show business or whatever business you're in, don't burn bridges. Always, hey, if something's not working out, try to leave gracefully, you know?
You're going to have to say that for the people in the back, honey, because the people don't care about these here bridges. They be leaving them in cinder ash, honey, and don't give a damn and move forward and then turn around and blame you for why the bridge is not intact.
You know,
that is a very good word, honey. But the
yes,
people
and you know what? That is a good thing, because especially nowadays, like I went to CBS today, and the lady was new, and I wanted to get a new cord because I'm going to start traveling a lot, and she didn't know how to. Now, you know, they got everything magnetized because they think you're going to steal a damn cord,
right?
And she didn't get it, so then she rang me up. Girl, I had masks, cords, batteries, all kinds of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And she pushed cash, and she had to ring up like 25 items all over again. And she said, I'm so sorry. I said, no, sweetie, you're learning. It's okay. I said, most people don't want to work nowadays, right?
Right. Oh, honey, let me tell you, I went to Walmart today. First of all, Walmart get on my nerve. But there were no, I can't do Walmart no more. I just can't do it. There were no clerks. So you know how you do the checkout by yourself? Mm-hmm. Honey, by the time I had so much stuff in my cart, I felt like somebody ought to came out the back with a check, because I had to check myself out. And this lady across me was like, I'm getting too old for this. This don't make no sense. I feel like I done did all this work. Now I got to put my stuff in the cart. She's an old school lady. She's like, then I got to put it in the car, then take it back out the cart. I was like, sis, I feel like they need to give us checks. Like I had to check out like $400 worth of shit on my own. So I was so mad. And yes, I'm bougie.
Wait a minute, don't forget not to pay for them bags too nowadays, right?
Listen, right. And we don't pay for bags at the I don't think they didn't charge me for no bags, but I feel like I worked a shift.
Let me tell you, I went to one of those grocery stores like a Aldi's or whatever, and didn't know that you had to bag your own groceries. So I'm waiting there and I'm waiting for somebody to come to bag it. And she says, oh, you bag your own. I said, oh, I don't want none of this shit then.
No, bye.
All right, y'all. We're gonna be hip to it. So let's move on to our next topic.
Okay.
During a recent episode of The Real House of Dubai, let me say it again. During a recent episode of The Real Housewives of Dubai, Chanel Ayan opened up about her experiences with female genitalia mutilation. She said, at 5 years old, my aunt and my grandmother came to pick us up and take us to another town. She continued, and then the next morning at 6 a.m., I didn't know where I was going whatsoever. They then took us to a man's house and they just tied us on the bed and we were circumcised. She added, we were tied our legs were tied up and we couldn't pee or move when we needed to. They would just carry us and put us on the grass. I didn't understand what was going on, and whatsoever. And my mom didn't know that it was happening to us as well. Gosh.
Yeah. I believe
Why
that
did
there
her
are,
mom know? Because
I believe that there are customs, and she was born in Kenya. And I believe they have customs there that they would sew up their labias so that they would not have sex until they were married, and that they could not be penetrated until they were married, because they basically sell, not sell, but whoever they marry, they have
It's
to
more valuable as a virgin.
like exactly. And so they
Yes.
try to sell them into marriage at 14. It's like arranged marriages in Africa. So, but
So
that
when
is
I got a little bit
traumatizing.
more to this story, she later learned the procedure was done to ensure that she would be a virgin when she got married.
Right.
She had the procedure reversed when she met and married her husband. Wow. Lisa Ray,
That
what do
is
you think about
traumatizing.
this? I know, speechless.
yeah, but here's the thing though. If that is your culture and that's what they do, that's all you know. So you are mentally got to be prepared for that. We don't know that because we haven't never been introduced to that. Only thing that we know about is that the man has to be circumcised. But even when nowadays you see a man that's not circumcised, you almost kind of like,
Oh, wow.
like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And so maybe because she's over there, if that wasn't sewn up, then like you said, she was devalued, and it was questionable if she was a virgin or if not. And she didn't want to ruin her chances with getting with, her future husband, because
Well, it's an arranged marriage. It's not love anyway, in my opinion. But
Well-
this is what I want to add to it. Like little boys, most of the time, aren't they circumcised when they're like a baby? And they
Yes, they were
remember it?
5.
For
Yes.
you to circumcise a 5-year-old little girl, take
Yeah.
her away from her mother, and to tie them up in this, it just seems inhumane
Awake.
to me.
Yeah, awake.
You know what I mean? And just cruel. And it breaks my heart to hear that that happens there, that it's a tradition. Would
Yes.
you?
And it's-
awake when they're
Yeah,
cutting,
awake.
they're
Yeah.
Oh,
Awake. And it's and she was saying that she wants to be an advocate to stop it. She said because it was traumatizing, and it's still
Good.
going on. Like it's still
Wow.
going on to this day, and it's outrageous. It's
Wow.
it's almost like it's worse than abortion. I mean, it's you're now you're stopping them. You're stopping them from having children, even though they maybe shouldn't be having them at that age. But who are you to sew somebody's vagina up
Yeah.
so that they don't be penetrated, so that they're not penetrated? It's outrageous.
Well, I just want to say to Ayan, we congratulate you for having the courage to come forward and to bring exposure to this absolutely inhumane and cruel thing that happens to young girls at 5 years old. It's just no good. So listen, y'all, we're gonna go to a break, and we're gonna try and get Miss Claudia back, because this, ain't normally Miss Vivica's job. I like having my wine,
Okay.
adding in a cute comment. So we're gonna go to commercial break, and we'll be right back with Cocktails with Queens.
Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. Excuse my Wi-Fi. I see y'all in the chat. They like Claudia in that Dallas flood. Chinese have hacked her Wi-Fi.
Okay.
But actually there was a lot of flooding here in Dallas, but I'm safe. But yeah, I don't know what's happening. It's probably some technical issues. But Vivica held it down. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Queen.
That's why we got 4 professionals here ready to just jump in at any moment. We good.
Lovely.
Okay, so we are back, and we've reached the part of the show where we talk about our relationships, the challenges we face in our lives, and how we overcame them. Please welcome to our queen. Now, tonight's topic will focus on the importance of rediscovering yourself after going through a divorce or breakup. Now, the topic was inspired by our girl, Tisha Campbell's interview on Hot 97's Ebro in the Morning, where she talked about her new Netflix series, Uncoupled, which is about a man whose life has turned upside down after separating from his partner of 17 years. Campbell admitted the show's storyline resonated with her, and she said, rediscovering oneself outside of the labels is one of the most devastating things you can go through. She also said, I never understood what faith was until I was at absolute zero. Sometimes you have to go through zero in order to rise above. Ladies, have you ever had to rediscover yourself after going through a breakup? And how did you do it? Vivica, let's start with you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've been married before. I had a public relationship that was just went on and on. And it's when you have to allow yourself to fall back in love with you. You can't get so lost in someone that you forget about you. And, you know, a lot of times that happens in marriages and relationships. So that's why I always say to make sure that even if you're married and you feel you're happily married, make sure that you still take some me time. And when you have that me time, that's going out with your girls sometimes, taking girl vacations, go see the family by yourself. Just don't get so lost in a relationship that it becomes your whole identity and you lose you.
Good advice, Lisa.
And when
Ray?
I went through my divorce from the president of Turks and Caicos Islands, it was me having to reinvent myself because I had given up my career to become this first lady. And so no longer being a first lady was, do I go back to acting? Do I go back to being who I was? Am I still a sex symbol? Do I still have it? Do I reinvent myself? Who am I now? And so you do go through that. And one of the things that I was so glad that I was able to do is just sit back and reflect on what my contribution was to society as an actress and my legacy and what my job description was and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to move further forward. And when I sat and thought that, then it made me grow and be open-minded enough to say, now, you know what, all that y'all went through, what did you learn? What was your part? What was your portion? And what is it that you don't want to do again that you learned from that? And when I tell you it's communication and being honest and like you said, and just really growing from that and saying that in this relationship, I did these things, but in my next relationship, I won't go there and do those things anymore because I want to be the best and the better me that I can be to someone else.
There you go. Great words.
Wow.
Selena, we want you to you happily married. So, you know, but I'm sure before that there was probably some breakups.
Lisa Ray snapped. I just want to put that out there. she really just snapped. Actually, both of y'all just snapped. But I was married before. My husband and I are in our second marriage. I got married at 23 when I was in college, and he was 21. We were very, very young. I don't even know why we got married. We were just very young and dumb and in love. So I don't think that, and we only stayed married for 2 years. I don't think that I had to reinvent myself, you know what I'm saying? Because I was so young, you know what I'm saying? Really just getting started. And we were so sick of each other, honey. We were just like, look good. Just let me go find I'm about to go create a person right now that I'm rid of you, you know. But being married for 15 years now with my husband, Kiwan, imagining not being with him, and that's just 15 years, I would struggle, you know, I would struggle to kind of figure out who I am on a day-to-day basis. Now I know who I am as a woman. I know who I am as Selena, but I'm a married woman. You know, that is a piece of who I am. So moving as a single woman is something I have not done in 15 years. So I would have to redo, like I'm used to sleeping next to someone every night. I'm used to consulting with someone about all of my decisions. So it would be very difficult for me to kind of rotate without my husband, without Kiwan, being that we've been together for 15 years. This person is almost like, you know, y'all start looking alike and carrying on. You start becoming one human. So I don't know, you know, I agree. I mean, Tisha Campbell was married for what, 30 years?
No,
Jeez.
not
How long was it?
It was about 20. It was over 20, not 30.
See, that's a long time. That's at that point, it's just like, yo, we just
kind of like grew up together. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be together.
I'm happy for Tisha because Tisha, now when you see her, she's back to happy. And it makes me so happy to see her smiling again, working again, back to doing Tisha. And
Wow.
You know, I just want to tell her, Tisha, you're a wonderful woman and you will find love again. But just make sure, you know, have patience, but enjoy just a little bit of time by yourself, sweetheart.
Great advice, ladies. I just want to add, she said, rediscovering oneself outside of a label is one of the most devastating things you can go through. I think it doesn't even take 10, 15 years. I mean, being with someone every day for a year or 2 years and just being part of your daily routine, and then not having that person there, like there's so many inside jokes that you share, or you just want to, damn, I'm not with them anymore. Or, you build like part of intimacy is like having those inside jokes and the little things that only you two know, and the things that you share. And that takes, I don't know what shortcut or advice to give someone to get over this. I think that's just time.
Well, is there anything wrong with therapy?
I think there's not. And I also think that, and I think we all do this, is when you are with someone, to make sure you still keep a little of yourself. Like y'all said, you got to still do your girls trip. You can't just abandon your life you had before just because you're in a relationship, because when it's over, and sadly, more often than not, it ends, you're devastated because you don't even have your compass anymore. You're just like, I don't even know where to begin anymore. So I just encourage women and men to still maintain their friendships and interests. So you're not so, at a loss and just like discombobulated when it does end. My advice.
Agreed.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And that was a great little segment there. And I hope we help somebody out there that's watching this. And there's nothing wrong if it takes a while to get over it, because that was part of your life.
That's what I was going to say, Claudia. I was going to say, we can really talk about this a little longer, because when you've been married that long, despite of what we think, they were doing something right, and it worked for them for 22 years. Tisha and Dwayne was married. Did I just say his name? I did. And 22 years, you know what I mean? And that is really a lot. That's big. You have shared your life with someone. So everything, like you said, Selena, is revolved around consulting this one person. And then when they're no longer there, then it does take a minute to say, he's not here for me to have to consult with now. And I don't have to, you know what I mean? So kudos for her for moving on, for embracing it. And like you said, Vivica, that she is finding another happy space and going to a whole nother level and dimension in her life. So absolutely. Amen, girl.
And kids are involved too. Kids,
right.
you gotta think. Kids are involved, and it's tough trying to, I could not imagine not being, getting a divorce right now with having a 15-year-old and an 11-year-old. Like, I don't even know how I would be able to say what I need to say.
You're a woman, Selena, you would figure it out.
Well, my parents got divorced when I was 15 years old, and it was very tough. I watched my mother break down a lot, and it was kind of traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sure everybody will be okay, but that would be very difficult. So I'll never want to get a divorce. Hopefully we to death do us part, child, because I don't have time for that. I already did that anyway, and it's a fool. So no.
We have a comment. Hold on a second. GQ in the comments said, Claudia, please, 10 to 15 years is much different than 2 years, hun. And please, we're talking marriage, and rolled her eyes at me. I had to say that. I know. Someone always has something smart to say. I have to say that because
who said that?
Her name is GQ.
GQ.
I just want to say this. I mentioned that not for myself. I'm mentioning it for people out there, that we're not going to diminish their pain because it wasn't 15 years. And just because you wasn't with someone 15, 20 years doesn't mean that your pain doesn't matter. Doesn't mean you can be devastated from a 1-year relationship. You could be devastated. You don't know the intensity. So I say that to encompass everyone's experience. Like, I don't think we should diminish and be like, oh, please, girl, that wasn't a marriage, or that was just a boyfriend, or that was just a girlfriend. I don't think I don't like to just speak for someone and say, oh, your little pain doesn't compare to that pain. You don't know how intense someone's relationship. You could have the most intense 1-year relationship with someone, or the most lackluster with someone for 20 years. And who are we?
Claudia.
And can I just say this to GQ? We're entitled to our opinion. It's why it's called a discussion and Cocktails with Queens.
There you go. Well, you got your shout out.
And I don't think that having opinions means another person's opinion is
less
right or wrong, or right or wrong. Even it's to get perspectives. So these are just perspectives.
I hope that they get that, though, because a lot of times when they disagree with us, it's just food for thought, and it's just that, our thoughts. So take it or leave it. You don't have to comment or anything. If it doesn't affect your life, then go ahead and move on. It's okay.
And then I wonder,
I'm okay with disagreeing with me.
What kind of relationship is she in? Is she sitting over there drinking all that haterade?
I'm just, yeah. And you know, who are we to tell people, you're like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So you know what? Everyone's relationship matters. If it was important to you and you felt love, it don't matter if it was 10 minutes or if it was 10 years. All right. On that note, great chat, ladies. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective. We really I appreciate y'all. Okay. We're going to take a quick commercial break, refill our glasses, and we'll be right back with more Cocktails with Queens. Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. If you're enjoying the show, throw some crowns up in the chat. Show your love for the queens. Okay, ladies, check out this tweet from Keri Hilson. She says, often the cheapest thing a man can offer you is an expensive gift. Do you agree with Keri Hilson? Lisa Ray, let's start with you.
I do, because I can read between the lines of that. That if you are just trying to buy me with all this expensive stuff, you're not getting to the core of who I am. So that means you're cheapening our relationship. And it's delusion. It's nothing but fluff. And then it's like, I don't want fluff. I thought we were talking and getting engaged in each other because we were invested in the longevity of where the relationship can go. If you fill it with fluff, it's like, well, how do you really feel about me? Are you just buying me things that you can buy? Which means what to you if it's nothing but a dime out of your pocket when you have several dimes, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, Vivica, you want to go next?
Well, I'm just the opposite. I'll take a little fluff in my life. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not saying I don't want the fluff. Now, you know, I love the fluff.
Let me tell you something. I'm ready for somebody to show up and say, yes, I've got the jet for you. Come meet me. When you get there late, I want a whole Pretty Woman episode. Then he come in with the diamonds and hip hand. Just give me a fluff. Just for one good old week. I'll take some fluff. But I know what you're saying, Lisa. You're talking about the one that does bad or makes a big mistake and then thinks, oh, we don't have to talk about it. Here's a present. I get that too. But as I said, I wouldn't mind a little fluff in my life right now.
Well, that's fair because you're always the one giving fluff to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you're the type that's just always just looking for that. So I think there's nothing wrong with saying that. Yeah. And you work. Everybody on this panel be working their ass off.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
So we like, yeah. You know?
Okay. Selena, what do you think about this?
I gotta tell you, I'm with Vivica. No, but both ladies, I'm totally with both of them. And here's why. I'm with Vivica because of this. Yes, I work really hard. So guess what? I want to be pampered real hard too. I want somebody to get the jet, all of the good stuff, bells and the whistles, get all the flowers, all the diamonds, all of it. You know, I do want that sometimes too, because I'm a girl. I'm a girly girl. So I like to be pampered and loved because I pamper and love on people. You know what I'm saying? So I know how that makes me, how it makes them feel. It makes me feel good to pamper others. On the other hand, though, back when I was in my early 20s and I was out here turning up, I used to date this one NFL player, right? And he was very emotionally unavailable.
Exactly.
And he would just send me gifts. He would send me gifts all the time, but never spend time with me.
Yeah.
I even wrote a song about it on chapter 3. It's called Time. And in the lyrics, I say, time spends better than money. Your time is really all I need. Sometimes I get a little bit lonely when you're not here with me because I really just wanted to be with him, you know, because I just really liked him and I wanted to kiss on him and hug on him, but he never would give me time. I later found out you were cheating. Okay, that's why. He would send gifts almost to kind of like thinking that would shut me up. And maybe that worked for other women that he had, but I had my own money and my own stuff. So it wasn't like this is, after a while, it's like, okay, this is getting old because, you know, I want to cuddle up and hug up and stuff like that. So I totally, and for it to come out of Keri Hilson's mouth, that's totally where she's coming from. She got her own paper, doing her own thing. You know, she doesn't need your money. She needs love and companionship and loyalty and attention and kisses and hugs. Like women that's doing it, they don't need all of that. They got paper. So what they don't have is that extra attention, that love that from a man, honey, or a woman or whatever you prefer, but they don't have that love that they, you know, they don't have the love of a man or a companion.
she's clearly addressing people that are, materialistic and think that that is a replacement for time, right?
Yes.
That's if we're all
Yes.
just, we all get what she's saying. And that's what people think. They think that I'm not there for my time. I can't give you the time. So here go a purse, or here go with this, or here go with that, or whatever is the thing to give these days that replaces your time. But if you have all that, you don't need that. I need your time. We need your attention and your efforts. And Keri is definitely a hopeless romantic. She really is. And she probably gets all kinds of people trying to give her trinkets. Keri, you can go ahead and send them over to the queens, your homegirls over here. We'll take them for you.
You can listen.
And then give you the time. We'll take them.
And that's the key.
And I'll take that fluff in my life.
Yeah, don't not take the gifts, like take the gifts, but at the same time, that quality conversation and say, well, wait a minute, does this in place of us, not going to dinner? Are you not still coming? Or
the gifts shouldn't replace the time, and they shouldn't replace morals if the guy's married. And usually that's who's the most generous trying to buy you in your silence is those married guys. All right. Right. Woo. That's true. My girls that get tricked up, I'm like, oh, he got a wife. All right. Moving on. This topic was inspired by, you know what? Let's take a quick break and we'll get to this next topic. We're going to talk about this next topic when we come back. We'll be right back with more Cocktails with the Queens. Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. We are back. Okay, ladies, we got to get into this. An all-black, a black therapist claimed she was fired after her video criticizing Black men for not going to therapy on TikTok went viral. Watch this video.
Don't you want to be able to communicate with your... I think yes, right? Long gone are the days where you can just shut down. Not tolerating that.
All right, ladies, what do you think about our comments?
I find it to be very honest. It's so interesting to me that men, it's so easily for them to take advice, constructive criticism from a man. But when it's from a sister, it's like they reject it. And it comes across to them as angry Black woman. I don't have to listen to you. So I like her honesty. We as Black people, men and women, are having to learn that therapy and honesty and communication for relationships is a beautiful and needed thing.
You said she's a therapist?
Yeah, and they fired her just for her.
They fired her.
I don't know if it was necessarily for what she said. I feel like maybe it was how it was presented. A, on TikTok. B, not as professional because she was dressed in a boob. So it was almost like her clients could have been like, oh, wow, that's how she looks outside of her suit and business. And then then she has something bleeped out because she must have said bitch or something. You know what I mean? So now it's like you're using derogatory words. And so it's like it doesn't represent your firm and who you work for. So I could see that being the issue.
Okay. All right. Good point. Selena?
I'm going to agree with Lisa Ray 100%. And here's why, even though Vivek has a great point, but here's why. First of all, where's the proof that you were fired because of that? That's first. It's giving cap. When you were talking about it in your TikTok just now, she stated, because I saw the whole thing, and she stated that most of her clients are Black men. So that's odd that you would say that and then say you got fired because you said that Black men don't go to therapy. So that's odd. Second, you said, wouldn't you want your B to talk? Wouldn't you want to communicate with your B's? You lost me at calling us BITCHs because technically that's the reason why we're in therapy, because men call us that. So it gave me a reoccurring trauma. And I'm going to go with Lisa Ray. Maybe it's something else. Maybe, and I'll tell you, I don't buy that you got fired because you said that Black men don't go to therapy. And here's why. And maybe this is just your firm. Maybe so. Love McPherson tells Black men to go to therapy. They promote it all the time. Spirit tells Black men to go to therapy, promotes it all the time. AJ, Charlemagne the God, Jack Daniels, the list goes on and on. Iyanla Vanzant have been promoting, pastors, prophets, people in the church have promoted Black men and women. There's initiatives for Black men to go to therapy that are out there. We tell Black men, we tell Black people to go to therapy all the time, and none of us have been fired. Now, of course, that's not they didn't hire her. So it could be her job and she maybe has some inside scoop of discrimination. But you had me at bitches. You called us bitches several times, and I just don't feel that that's professional. And maybe it's something to that is why you got fired. I'm not on your side because of the way you just presented your rebuttal.
Being devil's advocate, was she being sarcastic and talking like that's how they talk about us?
Exactly.
If
Because,
so,
like,
it didn't go over well.
Because some people
That's not how
Got fired,
it
but
didn't
to
help.
me, it looked like she was just trying to be relatable. I mean, I didn't take it like, oh my God, she's offending all Black women. How many times you been talking to your girl like that bitch, my friend? You know this
Nah.
bitch. You know, it's relatability. So, you know, I
Nah.
wasn't offended by
How
it.
you in the world of professionalism that she's in? I think
Facts.
that's distasteful.
But if
Facts.
that wasn't
But when some of the other guys or some of the other therapists talk and talk down about Black women or try to talk relatable to Black women, but when it comes from a man, it's okay.
It's still
Well, I don't
distasteful.
know about that. I'm not speaking on that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
I
still
never
distasteful.
heard of therapist, man.
I think she maybe should have gotten maybe a write-up. Perhaps a write-up and not a firing. If it was just about that, like I would like to know. I'd like to dig deeper and see if there was more to the story because
I need more info.
just that, and on TikTok, if she wasn't representing her job in a work capacity and that was her personal TikTok, you can say whatever you want.
Exactly.
You can say what you want. Imagine if we got fired for saying bitch. Oh, we'd have been fired on the first day.
You understand what I'm saying, Claudia?
No, guys, no.
No.
She called. Don't you want to talk? Don't you want to be able to communicate with your bitch? That's how she said it.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah, but it was on her personal TikTok.
I don't care if it's on your personal or not.
You
Never.
already know.
Selena, you swear on this show with us. Does that mean that you're supposed to be fired?
No, but I wouldn't get on my personal. First of all, I'm an entertainer. I'm not a licensed clinician therapist.
Right.
I'm an entertainer. That part of what I do on this show is entertainment.
Hey, we got to get to this game. So hey, we going too long on this. We're gonna get to this game. We all gonna watch the video, and I'm gonna watch the whole video.
Watch the whole thing.
And we're gonna talk about it next week. Okay, ladies. Before we end the show, I want to talk about the memes who have gained popularity on social media called "Little Miss This." Y'all seen the thing? Little Miss This, Little Miss That. They basically illustrated characters from this book series, Mr. Men, and each character is given a headline like Little Miss Commitment Issues or Little Miss Can Never Keep a Man. So I want to do our version of this trend. I'll show you a Little Miss character and we will decide which queen fits that meme by displaying a card with her name. We only have 2 minutes, so let's not talk too long on them. Are y'all ready to play Little Miss? First up, who is Little Miss always logged in late for the Zoom? We all know this one. We all know this one.
Hold up.
Very easy. It's very easy. Okay. All right. The next one. Which queen is Little Miss booked and busy?
Help. Every 15 minutes.
Yeah. I'm gonna say everybody. Everybody booked.
Okay, I know that's right. Everybody.
Everybody booked and busy. Okay. Next one. Next we have Little Miss always traveling. Name that queen. Little Miss. Yeah,
that's all of us. Like,
once again, that's all of us too. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Who is Little Miss doesn't respond to texts?
For a long time. She respond, but it take a real long time.
But I must say, Lisa Ray now, y'all, is good at responding and
She's turning up. Okay.
Got much better with time. So Little Miss Improve.
Come on, Miss Improve. Yeah.
Okay, Little Miss Diva. Name that queen. Little Miss Diva.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Vivica. It's Vivica and Lisa Ray, though, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both of y'all. I both. Do we have time for one more? Okay.
One more.
Man, y'all tried it. Who is Little Miss Cat Lover? Okay. All right. Okay.
You listen.
That's easy.
And I'm a former cat lover. I had 4 cats for 20 years.
No, I didn't know that.
There you go.
Yeah, my little family. Yeah.
I want to thank my beautiful queens, Lisa Ray, Selena Johnson, and Vivica A. Fox for joining the show and being awesome. Thank you for watching us on YouTube. Stay tuned for the Pulse that's up next. Little Miss Beautiful Queens. I'll see y'all next Monday.
Yay!
Bye.
We love y'all. Thank y'all for all of the love and being here every Monday.
And the
bye, y'all.